And this is our presentation series with the background about the podcast itself. The podcast was made in October of 2014. Sarah Koenig is the narrator. She delineates the story of a 17-year-old girl named Heyman Lee who went missing and was murdered on January 13, 1999. And the state of Maryland convicted Adnan Syed of her murder. But however, to this day, he still pleads his innocence and says that he was pretty much set up and framed by Jay. Alright, in this one, just want to give you like a little visual of who we're actually going to be talking about during the presentation. On the top left, that is Sarah Koenig. She is the narrator, like I said in the previous slide. She's one that you pretty much hear throughout the entire podcast and the one we get most of our information from. Top right, that is Heyman Lee. She was an honor roll student. She was an athlete. She was Adnan Syed's ex-girlfriend, and she was the murder victim. Bottom left, we have Adnan Syed. He was a star athlete. He was Heyman Lee's ex-boyfriend, and he was the one who was convicted of her murder. And last but not least, we have Jay Wild. He was an acquaintance of Adnan. He was pretty much a key witness in his trial, and he was actually an accessory to murder because he admitted to helping Adnan he admitted to Adnan. He admitted to the detective that he helped Adnan bury Hay. However, he never served any time for that, and I thought that was very, very interesting.
This is taking part where Hay's body was found, and the person who found Hay's body was Mr. S. But Mr. S was dropped as a suspect due to an alibi.
It's a verdict for Adnan that Adnan is innocent.
Alright, so this is our first argument against they said Adnan's pride was hurt because Heyman Lee broke up with him. Well, Syed, Adnan's best friend, said that Adnan was over the breakup and taking it well. Adnan was already seeing other girls, like they mentioned in previous presentations about he went to Philadelphia. And yeah, everybody said, well, most people that were closer to him actually said that he was over the breakup. Nisha testifies that they were actually seeing each other. So that also shows that she was closer to him, and that proves that he was over. Before and after Hay, Adnan was already doing things that went against his religion, such as partying, smoking, and being sexually active. So the fact that they're saying that his pride was hurt, he was already doing things before Hay. So I don't think that counts as argument. The second argument was the day that Hay went missing. Becky and Chris overheard Adnan ask Hay if she can give him a ride. And then Becky and Krista could have confused what they were saying. They were far away from him. They weren't really next to him. Annette, the concession stand lady, was the last person to actually see Hay before after she left the school, and she said that she was by herself, nobody in the car. Adnan knew Hay had to pick up her cousin, so that also proves that he probably maybe asked her for a ride, but they didn't end up together.
Our third argument would be Adnan's palm print were found in Hay's car. Well, the counter argument against this would be they were dating for a while, so obviously there's going to be fingerprints in the car, and also the missing pages wasn't just Lincoln Park, it was other locations as well.
Alright, another argument is that not just the trial, but the whole investigation was unfair. First off, the jury was more than 50% of the jury was African American, and then you see Jay, or they see Jay, he's trying to portray himself as a young, good person, and then they see him getting yelled at by Adnan's defense attorney, so they think, well, we're not gonna let him be like that. And then it's Baltimore in 1999. A lot of people are going to jail, predominantly African Americans, so they don't want to see another one go into jail, even if he's guilty or innocent. They just don't want to see him in there. And then the last one, which to me is the biggest one, there's no physical evidence, so even if you want to say motives or anything, or if he was possessive or clingy, they had stuff to test, but just the investigation was just really dodgy, and the private investigators, the police, they didn't test anything. So even if you want to say he had a motive, there's no blood samples or the palm prints, but that's about it. But there was nothing that proves that he had his hands on Hay or he killed Hay.